My name is Tahir Naim and we are studying Management Information System. We have got 13 lecture and today is our lecture number 14. The topic of today's lecture is planning for system development. Basically in this lecture we will study the planning for the development of the system. Outline of our today lecture. First of all, we will discuss the planning for system development. Then we will discuss phases of IT planning. Then we will discuss system development. Then we will discuss model used for system development. Then we will discuss system development life cycle. Then we will discuss project life cycle versus system development life cycle or SDLC. Then we will discuss types of system development life cycle models. Then we will discuss entry and feasibility study. First of all, we will study planning for system development. What is the planning for system development? The management should prefer to have a plan for IT or information technology development so as to help it to take various software development projects in a structured way. At the very start, planning is done by the management regarding following issues. Scope of software development, that certain selected areas of the entire organization. Basically in scope, the management discuss that the software which we want to develop, what area it must cover. As a real life example, let's suppose KCMS is the real life example that it covers students, finance, course registration and exams and different departments. So in scope, the management decide what area the software should cover. How to get the project done? So the next phase after the planning, the management decide how the project should be done. In-house committee or hired consultants. There are basically two ways of system development. First of all is in-house development. In-house committee means that you gather the group of people having expertise of developing a software as well as the knowledge of the system, or you can hire the consultant from the software house or independently, which will develop a system for the organization. How much resources and time commitment can be made? So basically the management decides that how much monetary rewards or any other resources must be put into the software development and how much time we should give to the software development so that it may be functional in the required time. Any written policy and which model is needed to be followed for software development. So if there are any policies or any other rules and regulation which must be followed by the software developers. So basically it's the rules, regulation or any policies of the organization. If we take the example of Cohort University, in Cohort University there are written rules which must be followed in the organization. So if you want to develop a software for Cohort University, then these rules and regulation must be followed. IT planning provides a structured means of addressing the impact of technologies, including emerging technologies on an organization. So whenever you plan for software development, or you must be aware of the impact the technology have on the organization. Through the planning process, relevant technologies are identified and evaluated in context of broader business goals and target. Based on the comparative assessment of the relevant technology, direction of the organization can be established. So basically in the planning process, different technologies are studied and their pros and cons are looked into, and then the different software are evaluated against the goals which business have set for itself and targets which must be met. So in the light of these goals and targets, relevant technologies assessment is made, and the direction in which the organization must go in terms of IT implementation is established. Business planning is an accepted responsibility of management. Plan provides a direction and framework for the organization. So whenever a business plan is performed, it is the responsibility of management. And management, whenever a business plan is developed, the goal and everything is set by management. It is a universal truth. Plan provides. So whenever a plan is developed by management, it set the direction and framework to a framework in which area must be the organization must go. Increasingly, information technologies not only support but also may drive or enable business strategy. So as in the previous lecture we have discussed that information technologies, nowadays information technologies is not used for support system, but it is the main driver of the business which enable business. Just I will give you the example of e-commerce. That e-commerce, basically those businesses have also present in the cyber world or on the internet, and it can interact with the customer in the internet. So basically these IT technologies are business enablers. It flourishes, it helps in businesses. In this context, information technology are integral part of business planning process itself. So whenever a plan is made for businesses, IT technologies are included in it, and it is integral and essential part of the planning process itself. Phases of IT planning. Information technology plans are unique. The planning process and underlying activities are similar. So whenever information technology plans are developed, they are unique according to different requirement. The planning process, planning process for these technologies remain the same. Orientation. So first of all, orientation is made. This startup phase is required to establish the scope of the plan and methodology and techniques to be applied. So first of all, whenever we made a plan, first of all orientation is established. Orientation means that how much, which part of the business it should cover, and how much it should be covered, and what methodologies or methods are used in these software, and what techniques should be applied in these in IT. Assessment. Major steps in these phases are: then after orientation, assessment is made. Confirm business direction and drivers. So in assessment, we have to look at the direction in which way we want to take our organization, and what are the different drivers. Review technology trends, outline future requirement. So in assessment phase, you have to look in the present trend of technologies which are basically. Just I will give you example of TikTok, because nowadays this technology is very, and is compared to Facebook or any other technology, older technologies. So we have to keep pace with the latest trend, and we also have to look at to the future requirement of our business, so that the software must be enabled to meet our future requirement. Inventory existing information system. So as we have discussed previously, that information system of existing inventory is made out, and develop an assessment of what is needed. So basically in assessment, you assess the requirement of the organization, or what is needed for the organization to achieve the goals or objectives of the organization. There should be well-developed assessment of current and future business needs. So not only you have to assess the current requirement of the organization, you also have to keep in mind the future business requirements, so that you don't have to replace the software. You have to just update the current software so that future needs can be met on. Strategic plan. After assessment, then you have to make a strategic plan. This phase commenced with developing the vision and desired future positioning of information technology within organization. So in this page, in this phase, you develop a vision and your desire that in what information technology will play a role in your organization. Then there is tactical plan. The selected strategies are divided into series of projects which are scheduled for implementation depending upon the relative priorities and resource availability. The planning process is concluded by recommended a monitoring and control mechanism. So in tactical plan, basically you divide the whole plan into different smaller projects and you perform it one by one according to your priority. Basically you prioritize those projects which are necessary, and then you move on incrementally. The planning process, and there is you establish a monitoring mechanism, a control mechanism, which will look after to all the IT related projects. System development. System development refers to the structuring of hardware and software to achieve effective and efficient processing of information. Information systems are developed keeping in view the needs to be met. These can be two reasons for system development. Basically, whenever you want to develop a system, hardware and software, you have to structure hardware and software needed for this system development. So that your requirement can be met. There are two different types of system development. First of all, there is complete manual system, and you have to computerize all the manual system. So if we look at the organization, general stores or any other business, they are currently mostly operate manually in Pakistan. If you want to computerize this system, you have to completely eliminate the manual system and convert it to computerized. An already computerized information system is to be replaced with the system that address the growing and changing needs of the organization. Our old system has become too slow, or there are newer, more efficient, user-friendly development tools are available. So in this, you already have a computerized information system, but they are not meeting your requirement or your changing needs, or your old system is become too slow, or it can't be relied upon, and there are new efficient methods and user friendly tools are available, so that you can use these tools and perform your job. In both the above mentioned situations, the phases followed per far system would be same. So in both above mentioned methods, the phases will be remain same. The extent of system study, analysis and design may depend on the fact whether the existing system is manual or computerized. To development system, various development models or techniques are displayed. So you have to study the system, analyze the system, and design a new system, whether you have the computerized system or manual system. So there are different techniques available which you can you employ to perform your required task. Model used for system development. There are different ways or techniques which we can use for system development. Initially, software development consisted of programmer writing code to solve a problem or automate a procedure. So initially, when technology was not matured enough, you needed a programmer who will write the code in a specific computer language to solve the problem or automate the procedure. Nowadays, our systems are so big and complex, the team of architects, analysts, programmers, testers, and users must work together to create millions of lines of customer written code that drive our enterprises. So, and nowadays, because automation and computer is used in every nook and corner of the businesses, that your system is very much complex and big, and no one one man can't handle, one programmer can't handle all these procedures. So you have to hire architects which basically give a blueprint of the system, analysts which analyze the system, programmers basically primary job is to write programs in the computer testers, and after programs a programmer write the code, the tester test the system, is it up to the mark, is it meeting the requirement, and users also check the overall resultant system, so that the end product must be user friendly and fulfill the requirement of the user. To manage the number of models for system development has been created. The most famous of these models in the system development lifecycle model are SDLC or lifecycle models. So basically, software development lifecycle is used for managing the system. Software development lifecycle, or we can abbreviation is SDLC. System development life cycle is overall process of developing information system through a multi-step process from investigation of initial requirement to analysis, design, implementation, and maintenance. Basically, system development life cycle covers initial requirement by analyzing, designing, implementing, and maintaining the system. Basically, it covers the whole life cycle of the software. SDLC is also known as information system development or application development. SDLC is a systematic approach to problem solving. It is made of several phases, each comprised of the multiple steps. First, it describes the stage a system passes through from inception until it is discarded or replaced. So basically, it covers whenever we want to conceptualize the system and run the system, and whenever we discard the system or replace the system, it covers the whole life of the software. For structure, method, these are SDLs provides definite structure of the software. Methods provide different way from which we can achieve our goal. Controls, what control software gives us so that check and balance can be maintained in the software. Checklist is basically requirement, and basically we can introduce checklist in the software which must be met before processing the system. Project life cycle versus SDLC. The system development life cycle is a project management technique that divides complex projects into smaller, most easily manageable segments or phases. Segmenting projects allow managers to verify successful completion of project phases before allocating resources to subsequent phases. Although system development can be seen as a project in itself, but the attribute that makes system development different from the regular project is that the project has definite end, and it is unlikely that ongoing maintenance will be included in the scope of the project, but this falls in the definition of SDLC. Basically project life cycle include whenever you divide a large projects into segments or smaller programs, and you work towards achieving all those goals. While SDLC is while project life cycle doesn't include maintenance of the software, while SDLC is the complete from inception towards the discard of the project or replacement of the software. Two types of system development system development life cycle model. The concept of system development life cycle model is being explained in various shapes and forms. The concluding form follows the same spirit expressed for minor differences. Waterfall model, classic model, or linear sequential models are the same, have the different names for the same model. The waterfall model is a software development model, a process for creation of software in which development is seen flowing steadily downwards like a waterfall through various phases. So waterfall model, you develop the software by following traditional methods like waterfall go through various stages one by one, and it doesn't go back from one, it doesn't go back towards the previous phases. Incremental model. In incremental model, software is built, not written. In incremental model, you straight away write the software, you doesn't build it. Software is constructed step by step in the same way a building is constructed. The project is designed, implemented, integrated, and tested as a series of incremental builds, where a build consists of code pieces from various modules interacting together to provide a specific function capability and testable as a whole. Iterative models. These model customer feedback is taken at each phase and project is modified accordingly if need to be. Prototype are used in these models. So iterative models, you build a phase and then take and show it to user. If their user feedback is taken and changes is made to the particular phase according to the wishes of the user. Need assessment. Information systems are usually developed on need based, that is the problem and opportunities arises and render information development necessary. In this phase, the stakeholder must attempt to come to some understanding of the nature of the problem or opportunity they are addressing. Issue which can be considered in this phase are: is the problem will structure or structure, the problem or structure is there, the problem is well defined, constraint problems in convergent solution, limited number of rules and principles within well defined parameters. Basically, in well structured problem is well structured, there are well defined parameters and all the things are clear. Unstructured. So in unstructured problem, there are multiple solutions available to the user, to the programmer, and there are parameters are few if there are any, and contain uncertainty, and there are uncertainty if they are correct or not. Should formal terms of reference should be prepared and approved by the steering committee. So there is basically a committee is approved which also develop which consists of many personnel from different departments. This depend on size, impact and cost of the system being prepared. The UTR or term of reference usually covers the following aspects. Investigation on the existing system. Basically the existing present system are investigated thoroughly. Definition of system requirement. The system requirement are written down. Specify performance criteria for the system. So the committee or the board approved the performance which must be met by the software. Detailed cost budget, and the committee also decide on the cost of the project in detail. Draft plan for implementation, and a committee also decide on how the software must be implemented. The purpose of this phase is to obtain a commitment to change and to evaluate whether cost-effective solutions are available to address the problem or opportunity that has been identified. Following example can be considered to explain this situation. Say a problem has been recognized by a group of users. They believe they can design and implement solutions themselves using a high-level language. This proposed system will have little impact on other organization. Not it will be material from the viewpoint of overall organization. In this situation, the user are already motivated to bring about the change. Thus, activities to accomplish successful entry are minor or unnecessary. On the other hand, consider a solution where potential solution will have a widespread impact on the overall organization. Activities to accomplish successful entry are now critical. Information system professionals must seek to establish themselves as legitimate change agents among the stakeholders. Moreover, they must seek to foster among the stakeholder a commitment to change. If potential solution will have significant impact on task and sources system, a spirit of collaborative analysis and evaluation among stakeholders must be developed. So basically, there in the previous slide we said that if there are minor changes, but in this there are also this software must aim to achieve a very radical change in the function of the organization, so that all stakeholders must be involved in this change. Once the entry is successful, a preliminary study can be carried out to evaluate the feasibility of new system. A feasibility study should be considered. So whenever you want to enter a successful preliminary study, then you write a feasibility study that the system will be feasible or not. DAR representative for department affected by the projects. So in writing this feasibility study, different people from the different departments which will be affected by the project will be drawn. At least one person must have detailed knowledge of the computer and system design, called system in Alista. So at least one person in them must be have expert level knowledge of computer and the system design process. At least one person should have detailed knowledge of the organization. So at least one person must have the expert in the functioning of the organization, how current system operates, how the current system works, information needs of the system, defect in existing, what are the drawbacks in the existing system, consultant from the outside, and outside also the consultation is made from the outside the organization, so that if there are any other solution available to him or simplify the process, it can be applied on. These are the references from where I have prepared my lecture. If you have any questions regarding today's lecture, feel free to email me. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.